Hey Troopers, this is Rabid, and I have 5 very important gameplay tips that I hope will help you win more games in Arc mode for Starship Troopers Extermination. This is by far one of the hardest game modes to play, especially if you don't have a dedicated group to play with. That's a common complaint that I always hear about this game mode. So let's just dive right into it. Okay, gameplay tip number 1. We're going to talk about base building. This is the most important concept out of everything that we'll go over. Usually people will say it for last, but I'm putting it up first because it's going to be a very core skill that you need to develop for this particular game mode, okay? But before I go to further details, I want to ask you this. It's a very important question. What do you build around first when you first hit the playing field? Do you build around the mobile HQ, or do you build around the Arc? I'll give you a second to think about it. Okay, let me ask the question again. What do you build around first, the mobile HQ or the Arc? If you answered the mobile HQ, I'm sorry, that is incorrect. You should in fact build around the Arc. Why the Arc? Because that's the thing you need to protect. It's the key structure that when it blows up, you just lose the game. No matter how long you've been playing or how well you're doing, if you're gonna let it blow up, or it does just get blown up, you just lose. Okay? So unlike Horde mode, this is the structure you want to defend. The Arc! Hey, look at that, it's beautifully modeled in the Ape Map app, which, let's just show the Kudos real quick, has been very much been a fan endeavor here, which you can see the credits. These are the wonderful people that have made this tool for us, the community, to use. Okay, so if you see them in the game or if you see them in the official Discord, give them a big shout out because these people really know their stuff, and it's free to use. Alright? Okay, enough with the Kudos. Alright, so when you first start up a game in Arc mode, you're gonna have to run to the base building zone, right? But once you get there, you're gonna get a total of 3,000 ore to work with, and let me show you a very fail-proof building concept, which I go over in my other videos, which is build the inner core first, okay? And from there you expand outwards, build into places that have natural funnels, things like that, right? So the first kind of method I want to go over, or like the first kind of build structure that you should go with, is 3 walls and a small gate. Now before the Arc touches down, you can actually build a small gate next to it. So you see these little platforms right here, that's like the top and bottom of where the mouse cursor is right here. You just need to rotate it outwards away from the Arc, okay? And then from there, once the Arc is in place, you can then build the regular walls in, okay? So this is what is going to be like your last line of defense, and it's nice, compact, It's going to be easy to maintain. Troopers don't have to run around all over the place to repair the walls in the arc. So when things are hitting the fan, people will know to kind of just like gather here. And yes, you can actually repair the arc, but however in arc mode, it will take ore to repair the arc. Whereas in advanced secure, you don't need ore, or at least not as much as I noticed there. Okay. So with that, we have used a total of 850. From there, I like to then place one ammo crate. Anywhere around here is fine. Usually the best place is like in front of the arc, because that's where people are going to be, you know, working around the most. Okay, so now we got 950. We still got a little bit left to go, so what really works is something like this. What I like to do is I just like to build a secondary like wall, a ring around the core structure here, right? The key structure. So let me show you what I typically do, and it's, you know, it's worked more than half the time. Okay, this hardly ever like goes down because everything's nice, compact, and short. Let me just build it up for you real quick. So something like this. Oh yes, look at that. We have exceeded the 3K ore. I forgot that it actually you cannot complete. Okay, so at about here, this is where we usually have to wait for the second ore, or like not the second ore, but like the ore team to go and get the ore for you. But as you can see, it's easy to defend, and you're only going to have a small gap. You're missing 2 walls. At this point, the bugs might start attacking you, and at that point, you'll need to have a team to defend the base. Okay, but right off the bat, you can see that there's nothing fancy about this method. It's literally a box within a box, okay? And it works. I've seen cases where, you know, people build big first, you know, build out here to the very extreme edges of the base. Sometimes they'll build right around the mobile HQ, maybe because they think that that's the key structure, like, you know, in horde mode. But ideally you want something like this, and then once the, you know, the ore starts coming in from the refinery team, that's when you can plug this up, and that's when you can start building the base however you like. I don't care. You can build the base however you want at that point, but this these 2 set of walls will make or break a game. Sometimes people don't even build around the arc itself, which is insane, because that just means Grenadiers and Infernos now can land direct hits on the arc. Sure, they can still destroy the walls around it pretty easily if they get a direct hit on the wall, but it's going to be a direct hit on the wall, and it's only going to be a minimal splash damage on the arc itself, right? So, you know, now that we got, you know, this, you know, these walls built up, you can start, you know, just putting down the bunkers, things like that, you know, at these little choke points. In this particular case right here, if you really want to, if you're quick enough, you can actually destroy the wall. You'll get your ore back, you'll get refunded, and then you can actually place the bunker like that so you can access the inside. So, you know, that's kind of how I usually start base building when I'm playing Ark. You know, hopefully that gets you a nice, like, stable area to then, you know, build out further. So again, if you build too big first, you're definitely not going to have enough ore to close the gaps. Because as you can see, 2900 ore goes up really fast and you cannot complete a small ring around the Ark, or a secondary ring around the Ark. Base building. It's very important to have a stable core like that. Alright. So let's now talk about you know, designing a base for Marauders, you know, when you have Marauders in. Alright, so let's just take for example, right? You've got the base built up. Let's just build it up real quick. And I love base building. I enjoy it a lot. There's something about it that really intrigues me. Sure, I make mistakes. I'm not always like, you know, a perfect builder, but I enjoy it. It's kind of like a zen thing for me. Alright, I usually don't use bunkers and things like that, the high cost stuff and the electrical fences. It's like, it's cool to use, but I'm more like bare bones, and usually bare bones typically wins, in my opinion. Like, using the bunkers and the turrets and the e-fence makes it easier, but bare bones, it really tests the skills of the troopers, you know, work with the bare essentials, you know what I mean? Alright, so building with a Marauder in mind, right? Because that's going to be a thing in the game now. Something like this could be pretty useful. Let's just say, you know, let's just have this part of the base be where the Marauders will have as like their main reload bay. What you can do to protect the ammo reloaders is you can do something like this. Let's see, no, I think that's a little too narrow. I think something kind of like, I don't know, something like that maybe. Aesthetically it looks kind of ugly, but it should kind of work. Let's see. Now we need ammo stockpile. Maybe we have like, you know, 2 of them like that. Put out a bunch of short walls like this. I've seen people start to, like, you know, incorporate these outer perimeter, like, reloading zones. So imagine if you had something like this, like each side of the base or something, right? The Marauders will have enough room to park themselves in front of the ammo stockpiles. The walls will protect troopers from artillery, it'll protect them from the melee bugs, and this makes it a safe zone for everybody to get prepared, reloaded. So yeah, so that's a gameplay tip I hope you know, can help you out if you're playing with a bunch of Marauders. What you can also do is I'm starting to like the idea of like incorporating gates. Not large ones because it takes a long time to open and close. You can't exactly jump over the large gap when it is open. But let's take, for example, like, let's talk about this part of the base and put that into a reloading zone. Another way you can do this is, if I can, here we go, rotate, is that, now mind you, this is going to be very expensive to do, but sometimes you do get a lot of ore. You can do something like this, or you could put a electrical fence, right? And then just in case the bugs do get a little too feisty, you can do something like that, hold them off from the rest of the base, and then you can put your ammo stockpiles here, right? So this will prevent any bugs that do make it in here from totally wrecking the crew on the inside, because the E-fences will shock them and stun them. Okay, so do you see what I'm trying to do here, where like, you're trying to now incorporate portions of the base where you can safely repair and reload. Alright. If you're an engineer, you have like the shock beacons, you can also place them here as well. It's like a mini defense. Base defense. Alright. I recommend that a minimum of one squad stay at the base at all times. Sometimes the bugs will spawn right up on, right next to the walls, or the bugs will just spawn in naturally and start attacking the base. So you need somebody to protect it, because if the bugs are left alone to do their thing, they can easily destroy, the walls like pretty fast, right? So just have like one team just patrol around the base. That way you don't get caught by surprise, because there's, I kid you not, sometimes you'll see an entire team of like 16 players leave the base and do not defend it. It's like, whoa, that gets a little scary. Okay, so if you notice that happening, you got to communicate with the team, and if they don't want to cooperate, then you yourself, knowing this information, you should head back to the base and defend it. Okay, I know defending the base is boring as hell. Sometimes there's not a lot to do, but it's an important job that needs to be done. Okay, so it's a lot of multitasking in this game mode, and one of the most boring things is always sticking with the base. I get it, I've been there, I've done it, but someone needs to be there. Okay, gameplay tip number 3. To progress the game out of the first phase, you need to mine ore. Alright. So let's just take, for example, let me build it in. I just need to find where it's at. Oh, I don't think I need to. Here, the building. Refinery ore. Let's just say, for example, right? We have the refinery. Let's just say it's here, right? Conveniently, right? Not there? Oh, why no working? No? Hello? It doesn't want to work. Oh, maybe I reached the maximum side down there. Oh, I think there's a maximum amount of things you put on the grid. Oh well, we'll work with what we got. Alright. So let's just take, for example, the refinery for gas, right? Not gas, the ore. Oh, wow. Oh, you can't. I never played around with a refinery yet, so I'm kind of... Okay. I just need to zoom in more. Alright, so that works, okay? So, ooh, the zoom in is a little funky, don't you think? Alright, so let's just say, you know, as example, okay, the refinery ore A is right here. Conveniently really close to the base, right? And then you got ore refinery B that is like way the hell over here, right? Let's just go right here. No? Wow, is this also limited? Well, how far can I make it just to see? Huh. I've never played with a refinery yet. Forgive me messing this up. Alright, well, let's just delete that because it's gonna confuse everyone. Alright. So, and let's just pretend like ore refinery B is like all the way over here somewhere, right? Other side of the map. Just keep that in mind, okay? Would you go to ore refinery B that's on the other side of the map? Or would you go to ore refinery A that's much closer? I would say go to ore refinery A. Always go to the refinery that is closest to the base. Why? Because it's close. That's the simple answer. But the more complex answer is that if you need help from other teams, it's easier for them to get to you if you know, it's close to the base. Because usually in a typical game, you're going to have people moving in and out of the base, doing other objectives, or they're just like roaming the field, taking care of like bugs and bug holes that pop up. And the farther you are, the longer it will take for reinforcements to reach you. And oh my god, what is this smell? Oh, nasty. Close the window. Whether someone's smoking the bad stuff or the skunk again, I don't know. But anyways, the further you are from people, the longer it will take for them to get to you. And the bugs will typically try to be spawned in next to you on the way back from the refineries. Okay, so you know, you gotta watch out for how much ammo you're spending. You gotta just watch out for your health bar in general. And the longer the run back to base, the higher the chances are that a bug will come in and try to eat you. Okay. So what can you do when you're out here at a refinery, right? Well, if you have an engineer with you, the best thing that they can do is... No? Okay. Wow, that is very, very limited. Okay, well, let me just... I think I can leave that there. What an engineer can do is, before you start the refinery, right? Because when you activate the refinery, that's going to summon bugs until they're all dead. So what you can do as an engineer is build a simple box fortification. Okay, something simple like this will make it a lot easier for the team to defend Okay, and then usually they'll plop down an ammo crate. Right. So that is one, if not only way to kind of make it a little easier to defend. And you know, shock beacons, place them around. Proximity mines, place them around if you got them right. So do that to make it easier on yourselves and in the game. Hopefully you don't get crushed. Okay. Alright. And the only thing with this box formation that you gotta watch out for are Infernos, Grenadiers, and Bombardiers, because you're not gonna have enough time to build a very big box, and you'll probably run out anyways because your build time is really short. But one shot from those bugs will be enough to wipe out the entire crew within the box. Okay, so just be careful. Keep in mind your environmental awareness, meaning, you know, look around you, 360, up, down, sideways, left, right. Just keep an eye out for stuff in the air, because this will totally ruin your day if you're in here. All right. So what do you do when it's tapped out? Right, it's on a cooldown. Well, I mean, I always say it's better to just stick with this refinery, especially if you know that if the other one's like super far away, like on the other side of the map. You know, this position's already secured, it's fortified, and it's only like a couple of minutes wait time. So I recommend to just stick with it. Don't go wandering off. Just stay where you are. Keep that team cohesion together, because it's always really hard to organize a group while you're in a game. Because some people just frankly don't want to work together, or they just don't have voice chat on, or they don't have keyboard, you know, lots of different variables, right? So once you got that team together, try to keep them here until it's off the cooldown. Alright, so you gotta get X amount of ore. I think it can change depending on the game and map maybe. But get those cans into the mobile HQ. That'll get you to the next phase of the game mode, which is mining value gas. Okay. So the same thing with value gas. Always go for the refinery as closest to the base. Right? Same concepts, principles, and everything. Build the short walls around it, so that you have a way to stay alive. I recommend having at least one engineer and one medic with their refinery teams, and maybe even a demo demolisher with lure grenades to keep the bugs off you. But those aren't, you know, you gotta have it. It makes it easier. Okay. So that's refineries. Okay, that's gameplay tip number 3. Okay. Oh, yeah, I forgot one more thing about refineries and ore. You want at least like 2k extra, you know, for like ammo crates, ammo stockpiles, and ore to repair the refinery. Having a little bit of buffer will help in mitigating that issue, because it does pop up. Sometimes it's unavoidable though. Sometimes you can't get enough, or sometimes people are building too much and they're not keeping in mind about future endeavors in the game, right? Alright, so that's enough for tip number 3. Let's go into tip number 5, it's going to be about the side objectives that pop up during the game, okay, which will lead into tip 5, which is going to be like threat level stuff. Okay, so gameplay tip number 4, we're gonna just talk about how to approach objectives. Okay, so sometimes you'll see things like resource cache pickup, rescue AI troopers, recover MI caches. Those are, they're all optional, but the one you want to keep an eye out for that can have a big impact on the game that swings things in your favor are the what should call it? It's the rescue AI troopers, because that just puts more guns on the field, right? So if you're able to, I recommend going after that objective. If you have them follow you when you die, it'll actually revive you, and that just kind of helps you stay alive and helps keep the team alive. So it's best to, once you gather them, right, just put them in the base somewhere, like a choke point. That way all their guns are shooting in one direction. So that's an objective I recommend going after. The other one is the resource cache. Sometimes those will pop up and they'll contain like ore. Sometimes they'll contain biogas. Sometimes they'll even contain, I think, weapons and stuff like that. So that's the second one that I say is like worthwhile doing. The other ones, not too important. I don't like the MI cache recovery, the one that like gets populated in the field when a drop ship goes down. That one will spawn a lot of bugs, and usually it's not really worth it because those are like RNG. The weapons you get are most likely going to be garbage, so not really worth going after that and losing potential reinforcement tickets for it. Okay. But however, there are going to be more side objectives that will pop up that you really want to go after. The first one that's very, very important is the hive core, right? When that pops up, everybody needs to just like, drop their shit. Whatever you're doing, forget it. You gotta go after the hive core. Right, you have about 5 minutes to complete it. Sometimes there'll be 1 core, sometimes there'll be 2. There might be more, I can't remember. But if you don't like blow up the hive core, that sends the game immediately, if I remember this correctly, immediately into infinite horde mode. And that's just gonna be very, very hard to do anything, and usually people will lose the game. So keep an eye on it. You need to stay on top of it. It's a must-do objective. Bugs will spawn in at a significant rate, and you'll get elite bugs left and right. There wouldn't be any downtime anymore at that point. Okay. The other objectives that you want to do, or strongly consider doing, are exterminations. I think the other one's like patrols or something like that. If those two objectives are not closed out, that's going to increase the threat level, which is that little progress tracker that's on the top right corner of your screen. So if that goes all the way to the right, that means you're gonna go into infinite horde. That's not good either. your threat level's been maximized. So, like I said earlier, bugs will just spawn in at a significantly higher rate. You get more elite bugs. Make sure you do your best to complete those to prevent it from happening. Keep that threat level down because you're not going to win. It takes a lot of coordination and courage to go and do the main objectives at that point, to leave the base. Typically when it reaches that level, threat level, I mean, people just camp in the base because they're too scared to move out. But that's a time where you really gotta have courage to move out and complete the biogas and the ore if you haven't done that already. Okay. This leads us directly into the last gameplay tip, which is the threat level. Alright. So if the threat level maxes out, like I said earlier, it's that progress tracker on the top right corner of your screen. The bugs are going to go crazy. There's going to be more of them. They're not going to stop spawning. They're going to send everything at you, including the kitchen sink, as Pyre would say. I can't believe I said that. Wow. I made it dumb funny. Alright. So how do you kind of like get around that, the infinite horde? Well, you can't really get around it. If the infinite horde was triggered by a hive core and you destroy it, if memory serves me well, it'll reduce the threat level, which will then kind of despawn the infinite horde. At least that's how I remember it working. It could be different now, I'm not 100% sure. But that's one way to kind of get it back under control, at least for a short amount of time. But what if you can't, right? Well, here's the thing. You really need to coordinate with the team. Primarily, you want to see if you have rangers. If you do, have them go out to the refineries and have them, get the value gas, get the ore if that hasn't been done already. And once the ore is done, it'll trigger the next phase, which is the biogas, and you have them do the biogas. Why rangers? They're some of the most mobile and most fast-moving class in the game. Second would probably be a sniper. Their jump jets will allow them to get to places that bugs and other troopers normally can't get to. And if they are using that one perk where like it gives them invincibility for a few seconds and fills up, that means they have like a lot of opportunities to stay alive and keep on fighting and defending the refineries. So they are the best candidates to go out there and collect those canisters, and then they'll put it into the arc to complete the objective. So organizing such a team is significantly hard. So if you don't have that available to you, but you do notice some people are trying to push out to the refinery, then you follow them and you try to work with those troopers and organize with those troopers and talk with them. If you're not talking on voice chat, that's fine. Try to communicate through text communication. If not that, then you ping the objective. That way they know that somebody is willing to leave the base and go to the refinery. So you can just check your TAC map. That'll show you the position of where the troopers are. So if you do see people kind of edging their way towards that direction where a refinery is, that's the group you want to try to stick with and support, because they know what's at stake. You now know what's at stake. You now know what you need to do to complete the objective, to get it to the last phase of the game, which is base defense, as the Ark does. The Ark slam and does its thing, right? So that's all I can really offer you in terms of advice when you get to that particular portion of the game. I hope you don't have to really experience that all the time, because it can be soul crushing. You know, you can be 30-40 minutes, you're totally on top of things, but sometimes things slip, sometimes other people aren't doing their jobs to help out the team, and shit just hits the fan, and then you lose because of that. It's a very gut-wrenching feeling, and I hope that people can watch this video. You can watch this video, share this with people to show them hey, these are some things that can help you move the game a little bit more smoothly, so you can start winning a little bit more, and hopefully people can play this game mode more and not be so afraid of joining in with a bunch of randos, right? I started doing that a few weeks ago, and I tried to think about how can I help the team. This is what I'm doing, this is how it's working, and now I'm sharing these tips and experiences with you to hopefully then allow you to succeed where a lot of people aren't really succeeding all the time. Okay. Alright, that's enough for me on this one. I think this one's a little bit long, but that's okay. There's a lot of information that I need to go over. Alright, so with all that said, again, I hope that you enjoyed watching this gameplay tips video. I hope you got something out of it. But before you head out, though, I appreciate it. I really do. If you can like the video, leave a little comment, and let me know if I missed anything, or if you think there's some more gameplay tips that can help other people out. And then last of all, I really hope that you can subscribe to the channel. That'll let you know when new content is going up. Let's help build up the algorithm, help my channel grow a little bit more. And yeah, I gotta go. Maybe you do too. And well, thanks for your time. I appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out, troopers. Goodbye.